Hey, what's up, you guys? Swan here from Swan Things, and today marks the 1 year anniversary of me bringing home this loaf of bread right here. Yay! So, I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at how much I spent on tofu for the entire year. For all you pet parents out there, you already know how expensive it is to take care of dogs. But if you're thinking of getting a dog soon, I hope this video will be useful to help you plan for this financial commitment. So without further ado, let's jump into the numbers. Tofu, we're ready for the numbers. Alright, so the first thing I spent on is for the dog itself. Tofu is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi, and as you know, they're a really popular breed right now. And because they're so popular, they come with a really high price tag. In fact, I got Tofu from a reputable breeder and she cost me 4,800 bucks. Yes, it's pretty expensive, but honestly, that's the standard price for a Corgi, and the price comes with a comprehensive puppy starter kit. So the breeder will provide me with everything I need to set up Tofu at my home, so it was a pretty fair price. On top of that, I got to meet Tofu's parents, which are two happy and healthy corgis. They live in perfect conditions, and so I just went ahead and got her. Next, let's look at basic necessities. So I spent a total of 900 bucks getting all of Tofu's stuff. So one-time purchases like leash, collars, and feeding bowls and whatnot cost me about 250 bucks. The more expensive items are like her dog beds. So I made a huge mistake because I bought one for her way too early. Before she was even potty trained, I bought this adorable and luxurious dog bed. But of course, she ended up peeing and pooping all over it and she chewed the heck out of it. So, after going through a few cheaper beds, she didn't really like them. So, what we ended up getting for her last dog bed is actually just a baby mattress. I highly recommend this because they're so comfortable, they're relatively cheap, and they last for a long time. So in total, we spent about 200 bucks for all her dog beds and finally found one that she loves. Moving on, we have her toys. So I spent about 350 bucks on all her toys. Now, before you judge me, hear me out because most of the cost actually goes to two of her favorite toys. First, I got her an auto fetch toy. So what this is basically with a little bit of training, you can teach your dog to play fetch with itself. Now the toy is pretty expensive. It's 200 bucks, but honestly, it is so worth it because she is obsessed with this toy. And also, it tires her out really quickly, so definitely worth the buy. The next item, which is quite expensive, would be her Snuffle Mat. And what this is basically a puzzle toy that you can hide treats in, and she has to use her sense of smell to get the treats out. So again, it's relatively expensive at 60 bucks, but she can spend at least 1 hour on this toy. So again, worth it for us. The rest of the toys are pretty cheap. We get things like balls and tuck toys from online, and so we don't really plan to spend any more money on toys. So yeah. Next, we have her grooming stuff. So the good thing about corgis is they don't require a lot of grooming. In fact, I've never sent Tofu to the groomers once. This is because she only requires the occasional bath, brushing, ear cleaning, and nail clipping. So we do this at home ourselves because we trained her since she was a puppy to be able to handle all these without fussing around. So she doesn't really give us any trouble and we can do it all at home. So for her grooming stuff like shampoos and tools, we only spent about 100 for the entire year, which is so much cheaper than going to the groomers. So the next item I got is not a necessity, but I recommend it to everyone anyway. Even if you don't have a dog, getting a robot vacuum cleaner will save you so much time and energy. Now, corgis are adorable fluffs, but they shed a lot. Just ask any corgi owner. So we decided to get a robot vacuum cleaner because during her shedding season, there's just fur everywhere. But thanks to the robot vacuum cleaner, we're able to handle all of that without going insane. So the vacuum that we got was the iLife V55 Pro, and we got it for 600 bucks, which was quite reasonable. It comes with a vacuum and a wet mop function. We were initially skeptical about the performance, but it really blew us away and it cleaned our apartment nicely. So definitely check that out. Okay, now that we have all the physical stuff covered, let's move on to food. Quick confession, I spoil Tofu when it comes to food. It's not that she's picky on food, she does eat everything that we give her, but because I love food, I make sure that she is able to enjoy a variety in her diet. However, most of her diet still consists of kibbles because kibbles really offer the best nutritional balance to your dog's diet. We get Taste of the Wild, which costs us about 90 bucks per month. It's a bit more expensive, but we do supplement that with wet dog food, which costs us about 60 bucks a month, or we do human grade food like yogurt, fruits, and so on. I even cook homemade food for her. Yes, things like pork bone soup, grilled chicken, and grilled salmon. I don't even eat salmon because I think it's too expensive, but I cook salmon for her because priorities. So, in between her meals, she still gets plenty of treats. Things like air dried chicken and pork jerkies are her favorite, but we do tend to watch her diet because for corgis, because they are so long, if they get overweight, it really stresses out their back. So, we do watch how much we feed her. So all in all, we spend about 250 bucks on food every single month, which is quite a lot, but she gets to enjoy herself and keeps us happy. Alright, so the next cost is probably the one that is hardest to budget for, and that would be vet and medical bills. So, for predictable items like annual vaccinations and preventative medication, I spend about 300 bucks a year. Now, this cost is really unavoidable because if you want your dog to be healthy, you have to pay for these things. On top of that, I also decided to spay Tofu because my last dog, Yuki, actually died of ovarian cancer. So, to prevent that from happening to Tofu, I spayed her after her first heat cycle. The spay costs about 250 and includes an overnight stay at the vet for monitoring, so that was pretty reasonable. The big bill actually comes from all the times she got sick over the year, and there are many. How many do you ask? Let's take a look. So yeah, Tofu gets sick all the time and she's a regular at our vet. All the nurses know her by name and we spent a total of 1,300 bucks at the vet last year. Alright, so if you total up everything, we spent 10,600 bucks on Tofu for her first year. Luckily for me, I'm splitting the cost with my boyfriend, so we're paying 5,300 bucks each, and most of the cost actually goes to the dog itself. So I ran the numbers, and if Tofu lives to 15 years, which is the average lifespan of a corgi, I will end up spending 82,500 bucks on her for her entire life. That's like buying a brand new car or putting down a down payment for a house. If you ask me if it's worth it, my answer will always be yes. Yes, dogs are a big financial commitment, but they also bring so much to your life. Taking care of Tofu has given me a great routine in my daily life because she has to be walked 3 times a day, so I have to occasionally take a break, go outside for some fresh air, and exercise. Also, having a dog really helps you expand your social circle. We bring Tofu out on play dates all the time with other dogs, and there we get to meet new pet parents. It's just a great way to meet new people. Obviously, having a dog is not just a financial commitment, it is also the time and energy you have to put in to make sure your dog is happy. But at the end of the day, you get to come home to a wagging little tail that's always happy to see you, and they really love you unconditionally. Alright, so that's all for the video today. All you pet parents out there, please leave a comment down below to let me know whether you spend more or less on your dog than me. And also, did you know that dogs cost as much as cars these days? If you enjoyed my very pampered and tired guest for today, do leave a like on the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I try to put out new videos every single week. As always, thank you so much for watching the video and have a great day ahead. Bye. Bye.